Hello everybody, John12 back here again with another video, and I'm here to give you my first episode review for Vixen the web series. Of course, CW has given us a lot of awesome, badass DC TV awesomeness with Arrow and The Flash, and of course they're coming up with some new content with Arrow Season 4, Flash Season 2, and Legends of Tomorrow. But of course, over in their CW Seed online streaming website, they've released a new animated web series that's been developed by Mark Guggenheim, and of course is surrounding the character of Vixen from the DC Universe, and this is a part of the Arrowverse and Flashverse canon. So of course, everything is continuity-wise pretty much in check with those kind of shows, and this is something that a lot of people have been waiting for. A lot of people have been really wanting some more CW DC expansion, of course, because Arrow did a great job at spinning off Flash, and Flash has done a great job at expanding the universe and spinning off some more shows. And of course, now we got Legends Tomorrow, which will be coming out next year. A lot of really awesome stuff, and I'm just glad to see something CW DC related, because I'm just saying, ever since Arrow and Flash have been offline, I pretty much have found that my Tuesdays and Wednesdays are completely and utterly wasteful. They're just completely pointless. I can't lie about that. I fucking hate my Tuesdays, specifically my Tuesdays. I'm just saying, the fall needs to come back soon and hard. I can't wait. I need to see that Flash. Anyways, that being said, let's get into Vixen. Now, Vixen, the web series, is dedicated to the DC character Vixen, and of course, if you don't know anything about Vixen, Vixen is a African character from the DC Universe who wears a totem, who gives her, or anybody who wears the totem, the ability and all the powers of the animal kingdom. So essentially, with this specific spiritual totem, she has the ability to essentially have and do anything that any kind of creature or some kind of shape, way, or form in the animal kingdom can do. So essentially, that's the basis of Marie's slash Vixen's powers and abilities. And this is the first episode. This is my review for the episode. Of course, if you've not seen it, check it out, because this review may contain spoilers. The CW Seed has been will be streaming this series for free, so there won't be a big problem. And the episode, shockingly enough, I actually discovered it not too long ago, is that this series, or specifically the episodes, are very short. It's pretty much a 5-minute length basis, so that's pretty interesting and kind of odd. I would have liked it if it was longer, but we'll get into that later. Overall, let's get into episode 1 of Vixen. First off, we open up with an amazing action sequence with Arrow and the Flash trying to catch Vixen, and they're finding a very difficult time to actually catch her and obtain her. And we get a good glimpse into Vixen's basic powers, which is to pretty much use the animal, pretty much animal powers, like I've mentioned before. And she's pretty much dodging every attack that Arrow and Oliver specifically throws at her. She keeps dodging Flash every time he uses the Speed Force to catch her. She's just dodging these two guys, and they're just finding it very difficult to catch her and get her to do whatever they want, because essentially they're trying to find her for some kind of specific reason. I do not know that reason. This episode does not explain that. But of course, we find out that we get a good flashback into what happened several days before the opening events. Of course, Vixen, Marie specifically, is in jail. She gets bailed out by her stepfather, and then she gets pretty much hijacked and pretty much robbed, and then the episode's over. It's a very short episode, so it's kind of hard to spoil it when it's only a 5-minute episode. So that's pretty much the difficulties within it in and of itself. But that being said, overall, it was a pretty interesting episode. It's very difficult for me to actually explain or review or critique rather this episode because of how short it is. I think if there's anything that I can say negative towards this series so far, is that it's just far too short. It just needs some more length to really get a good footing into what this show can really be all about. I mean, the show, technically, continuity-wise, lives within Arrow and the Flash, and if you want to know timeline-wise, I'm guessing based off what the creators of the CW programs and, of course, Arrow and the Flash have discussed, that specifically Vixen takes place sometime during Season 3 of Arrow, so that's essentially where this series takes place within, which is interesting. And it's also very interesting to find out as to why Arrow and the Flash are specifically trying to catch her. For what reasons, I do not know. We do not know. We're just gonna have to find out and see. There's only gonna be 6 episodes. It's a pretty short series. Not to mention, it's gonna be 5-minute episodes. So that's also gonna be interesting. It's gonna be premiering from today all the way to the end of September 29th of this year. So that's pretty much the general gist of how this series is gonna be streaming throughout the CW seed. We also get, respectfully, some reprisal performances from Stephen Amell as Oliver, and of course Grant Gustin as Barry, and we're gonna get some reprising roles like Felicity and Cisco, and then some other additional roles, and of course we have the actress, and of course I'm probably gonna butcher her name, but bear with me, Magdalene Akununwalk, who performs the voice for Marie/Vixen, who's the obviously main protagonist of this mini web series. And I think she was pretty good. I think she gave a great performance overall, even though it is a short episode. It's kind of hard to judge performance based off, like a minute of dialogue. Overall, I think she was pretty good. And if you've seen her in person, I would think that if this show is successful, like the CW specifically wants it to be, I would love to see her on Arrow and or The Flash, or possibly get her own live-action series over at CW and get to see her perform as Vixen, because, I don't know, it's hard to really give a judging verdict on this show because how short it is, and on top of that, it's just the first episode, so I can't really give it too much heat for the logistics of the episode itself, but overall, performance, I think Magdalene did a pretty decent job as Vixen. Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin did not say anything in this episode, so that doesn't really matter, but overall, we've seen how they, pretty much perform as Oliver and Barry on their respected shows, so you can kind of get the gist of it. It was just cool to see them in there, trying to catch her and having a difficult time to do it. Overall, that was really cool. The ending was a little off to me, but I guess we're going to have to see the outcome of what that's all about in later episodes. But at the end of the day, I have to give this episode a good 6 out of 10. It was a decent, solid episode to a first show. I would have liked it if it was longer. I also wish it was more in-depth. And I also wish it was live action. I'm just saying, I know the CW is, working very hard to do the shows they have already on their plate, like Flash and Arrow and Legends in Tomorrow, and whatever the hell else, they have planned or whatever, not to mention, there's a whole bunch of other shit in the horizon that the creators are working on in separate networks and shit, so I can understand the full understanding of that, but I just would like to see Vixen more or less a live-action series than an animated series. I love the DC animated universe, but this is a part of the Arrowverse. This is not a part of the movie direct DC universe, animated universe. So they're 2 separate universes. Even though it's the same style, it's 2 separate things, so 2 separate canons. So I would have liked it if it was just live-action overall. But overall, hey, it's a free show. It's online for free, online streaming. Anybody can watch it. It's just 5 minutes, so it's not going to be that time-consuming. So it's a decent, solid series that I think it's definitely going to be very fan-friendly for a lot of people who love Arrow and the Flash. And, of course, if you want to get introduced to another character that's specifically not Arrow and Flash, then I think this will do pretty much justice to you. But overall, I give it a 6 out of 10. Let me know what you personally think in the comments section below. What are your personal thoughts on Vixen, the future of Vixen? Do you think this will lead into her appearing on Arrow the Flash or having her own live-action series, which is something I would like to see? And what are your overall thoughts on the series as a whole? Let me know in the comments section below. Of course, if you've not done so already, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, @JohnSk12. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. And this has been JohnSk12.